Let's begin by defining the word evangelism. The dictionary describes it as the preaching or promulgation of the gospel, missionary zeal, purpose, or activity. But I think Jesus took it a step farther in what is traditionally referred to as the Great Commission in Matthew 28. Jesus had already died and been resurrected back to life, and he appeared on the mountain in Galilee where he told the disciples to go. Can you imagine what they must have been thinking? Verse 17 says that when they saw him, they worshiped him. And it adds, but some doubted. This is important because it tells us that you don't have to be the perfect Christian in order to be a good example of Jesus to others. You're still human, and you'll still sin and have doubts. Even the disciples did. But Jesus commissioned them anyway. He commanded them, and consequently all believers, to do 4 things. First, he said, go. Isaiah 52 describes the feet of those who bring the good news as beautiful. We're not on this earth to sit and enjoy a comfortable lifestyle. We're on this earth to glorify God and to tell others about the transformative truth of Jesus Christ. Secondly, make. While it's up to God to actually convert unbelievers into believers, we need to be actively engaging the process every chance we get. Plant seeds and pray for God to grow their faith. Third, to proclaim. Baptism is the public proclamation of a believer that they have put their faith in Jesus. And fourth, to teach. Teach them to obey Jesus' commands. Remember that the nation of Israel in that time had been enslaved to the law for so long they didn't understand that Jesus came to fulfill the law and set them and us free. We are free to obey and to follow him. You can see why this passage is considered the primary passage for evangelism. And after Jesus gave them these 4 instructions, he reminded them that he would always be with them. Folks, the battle is already won. Our Savior has already conquered death, and we know for a fact that when he returns and sets up his throne, he will reign victoriously. Doesn't that knowledge change how you view the time between now and then? When we know how the game ends and it's in our favor, we're much more confident about our team. In Acts 1 verse 8, Jesus tells the disciples that they will be his witnesses. In other words, their job was to tell his story as they experienced it and as led by the Spirit living in them after he left. Think about that. What's a witness? It's someone who tells others what they saw, experienced, heard, etc. They tell a story from their perspective. That's what we're to do. We're to tell the story of how God has worked in our lives, how he's guided us when we were confused, how he's comforted us when we were grieved, how his unconditional love doesn't turn away from us ever, even when we do bad things. Your witness of God, the story he has given you, is a powerful tool that will help you talk with others. Have you ever written down your witness, your story? I encourage you to spend some time today to write down some of the highlights of your spiritual journey. Organize your thoughts and be prepared to share them with someone when God gives you the opportunity. You have a unique spiritual story. No one else has your story. Don't be afraid to share it.